This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour,
supported by Albertsons
and brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Tastes like Miller time. Tom Thumb and Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Luke Casey, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Alltech Lansing. Just listen with Alltech Lansing, perfecting sound since 1927. And by Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your hosts,
Nicole Hutchison and Brad Sham.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's the Cowboys Hour. Welcome.
I don't think they can hear you. Let's try that again one more time.
We got
one
like
more time.
Now this. It might be because the Cowboys and the Star do such a great job of like celebrating the season. The way they've got the plaza lit up, the tree, the whole thing. If you have never experienced the Star District during the Christmas season, do yourself a favor. Come out and see. Take the kids and look at the big lights and the trees and shop. And then you come in. It's a little nippy, so you come into a place like Sidecar Social. Here we are with 150 television screens just on that side of the room. And then they should have more noise than that when we say, welcome, everybody. It's the Cowboys Hour.
There we go.
There we
That's
are.
a little bit better.
Okay. That's a little bit better.
I wonder what happened.
We're very, well, it was the long weekend.
It's fine.
They don't know what to do with themselves. But we're back on schedule. We're delighted to have you here. We are especially happy to welcome our guests so you and we can all get to know the new Cowboys linebacker, Logan Wilson. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it very much. Appreciate it. So thank you for joining us here tonight. Thank you for being with us wherever you are on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Thank you for joining us wherever and whenever you are streaming on DallasCowboys.com. That's what these little boxes are, cameras, Logan, so somebody's at all times looking. Now, Nicole, remember last week? You gave me major side-eye when I said that those two cameras were like right up next to each other. Remember?
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Over here.
In their normal place.
Well, they got to give us different angles. You know, it's got to switch it up sometimes. So, like, get a crowd shot every now and then, get a wide shot every now and then.
I am editing myself. We got to switch it up sometimes. I'm editing myself in ways you cannot imagine, but I'll share with you later. The Cowboys are into the final quarter of the season now, and we're just really happy to be able to give all of Cowboys Nation a chance to get to know Logan Wilson. I say this all the time. The thing that I like doing it, we've been doing this show for a long time, the thing I like doing about it is making you guys three-dimensional. You are more than just numbers on a shirt and a cage on your head. You're human beings. And people like to be able to identify with you and know a little bit about you. And that's one reason I'm delighted to have you here tonight, so people can do that. So for those of you, I think you probably all know Logan was a career Cincinnati Bengal until about 6 weeks ago. And has your head stopped spinning yet?
I can't believe you just said 6 weeks ago. It's crazy it's been that long. So, I'm happy to be here and be a part of this organization.
Go ahead. No, please.
What's been the best part about being here so far?
Just a fresh start, honestly. The way things ended in Cincinnati, it is what it is. But, I'm happy to be here in this organization. The guys in the locker room are a bunch of great dudes. It's a good culture. They care about winning, and it's just a fun place to be a part of.
Before I forget, the Cowboys today, for those of you who don't know, most of you probably do, this was the day annually that the players went out and made hospital visits in Dallas and Fort Worth to kids who are in the hospital. You were part of that today?
Yeah.
Players through the years have told us all that that's one of the best things they do all year, get to visit with kids and kind of interact with them and restore a little perspective. Cincinnati do something like that?
No, they didn't. And as I was walking through the hospital today, I was wishing that during my 5.5 years that I was there that we did something like that, because it just offers a lot of perspective on life, and especially going through a children's hospital when you have a kid of your own. it's really sad and eye-opening to kind of see kids like that are battling whatever they're going through, and you just pray for them and hope that they can make a good recovery with whatever they're going through. But it definitely was an eye-opening and humbling experience for sure.
And heartwarming.
Especially this time of year around Christmas.
Right. You get a few little heartstring tugs from some of those kids.
I mean, there's you walking through a couple rooms, you're like, I could tear up right now if I really wanted to. So, it's definitely some tearjerkers around there.
I actually got a chance to go to Scottish Rite, and it's been probably one of the best things that I get to go to as well with the players. But what was one of your favorite moments, getting a chance to talk to some of those kids and have those interactions?
Oh man, it's hard because sometimes they're depending on the situation they're going through, they're not always the most happy. They're not. It's not like they're the hospital's a happy place to be.
They're not at a spa,
right?
Yeah.
And so you understand that aspect of it, and but the kids were very excited just to see Dallas Cowboys football players with our jerseys on, and even the cheerleaders that were there too as well.
Yeah.
We went into a room with a girl, and she was more excited to see the cheerleaders than she was to see the football players, and rightfully so. But it's just really cool to put a smile on kids' faces, literally just by being there,
being in their presence. I asked you that just because GP George Pickens got a chance. One of the kids went up to him and did his celebrations. That he's been practicing his celebration for about a couple of weeks. So I thought that was pretty.
That
cool.
is really
and
cool.
Did George get a kick out of that?
He did. He was like, I enjoyed it. Like, this is probably one of the best. I got a chance to talk to him, and he said that was his best moment. So yeah.
So it's been, I said 6 weeks. I didn't do the math, but it's been close to that. It's been four games?
4 games.
Right.
Yep. And then it was bye week, so really.
So it's
5.
So this will be the 6th week. And,
Yeah.
And I remember the press conference that you had the night you got here, and your family wasn't here yet. And that's always a surreal. People don't don't realize what a surreal moment that is, even for somebody who's been in the league for a few years, because your world just got turned upside down and in the middle of a year. And now just come on in and absorb everything new and make yourself right at home. You had asked for to be moved because things weren't going well. Were you still surprised when they did it?
Yeah, because it doesn't hit you until it's actually real, until everything's been confirmed and like both teams have agreed to the terms of the deal. And so like when it happened on Tuesday morning, the day of the trade deadline, and you just get like this nervous pit in your stomach because you're about to move your whole family again across the country. And I think I can hear my daughter yelling "Dada" in the background.
Yeah, but we like that though. It's music. We like that. You'll both be up here in a few minutes. Don't worry. We're gonna. Your wife just said, "No, we won't."
Yeah.
No, we won't.
The blessing of all that though is it did happen on bye week. So like I got the ability to come out here, make sure I did my physical, but then I actually got to fly back to Cincy and kind of spend that weekend basically trying to get our house packed up. Even though my wife is a saint and did pretty much all of it, and she pretty much holds our whole family down, so I'm very thankful to have her. And that's another important aspect of being successful on the football field, is having a good wife to do life with outside of it. So,
what was the most challenging part about that week for you?
And then it was just a tough. So you're balancing all that, and then it's a tough situation coming in when the Marshawn Nealon thing happened, and so very unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, like one day you're here one day, and oh, by the way.
Yeah, and with a bunch of guys I still didn't know me from Adam, and I didn't know them from Adam, and so it was a weird situation for sure. But Shadi came up to me. I think it was like that Wednesday when I was still here, and he literally just emphasized. He's like, this is before everything happened, but he's just like, emphasize, just be yourself. And I appreciated that, and just like hearing that from the guy who runs the team and runs the culture, to just come in and be myself and be there for the guys if they needed me, even though they didn't know me. Just trying to be there for them through a tough time like that.
Before he had that conversation with you, were you imagining, okay, what do I have to do to fit in? How do I have to go earn my merit badge here?
Yeah, I feel like naturally you do, especially coming into a new team. You don't know what the scheme looks like, what the verbiage looks like within that scheme. Like there's so many different variables that you got to think about. And then you got to worry about the special teams aspect of it, and then getting to know guys in your linebackers room, and then getting to know, as the middle linebacker, you got to get to know the D line, the DBs behind you. Like, there's just a lot of factors that go in, and more than anything, like stuff like that just takes time to get to know all those different things.
What would you say when you talk about you having to balance everything, you know, getting your family here, learning a new system, kind of maneuvering through the Marshawn Nealon thing? What would you say is kind of like the I'm trying to think of the words I'm trying to say, but where would you say kind of ranks amongst the most that you're trying to figure out? Because it's kind of difficult to kind of maneuver through all of those things at the same time.
I would say the biggest thing I was trying to figure out was the defensive terminology, so that I could find a way to contribute, whatever that looked like, you know, getting here. And the outside the field stuff, I mean, that's a lot of my wife took care of a lot of that, which took a lot off of my plate so I could focus on football, which was a very important piece.
What did it teach you about yourself that you didn't know about yourself?
I feel like through that, I just realized how easily humans can actually adapt to different situations based on whatever the circumstance is. Like, us humans, sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for how well we can adapt to certain situations, and you know, it's like being a rookie all over again in a sense. Like, you're still a vet, and so people respect that as a vet when you come into this league, and you come into a new team, but you're still a rookie in terms of like learning the system, new coaches, new building. Like, there's so many different factors, and so just probably that how well we can adapt as humans.
We're going to take our first break, and then we're going to ask you to give us a little lesson in learning a brand new language in football parlance. You can do the exact same things, and if they're all called different, it's like walk in speaking Russian, but they're talking Greek.
Yep.
And it doesn't really matter. So that's coming up. Logan Wilson is our guest on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour at Sidecar Social in the Star District in Frisco. And we are also brought to you by
Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Tom Thumb and Albertsons. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Tom Thumb and Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
We'll be right back with Logan Wilson on the Cowboys Hour.
Day when you wear.
to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back. We are at Sidecar Social in the Star District on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. Logan Wilson, the Cowboys linebacker, is our guest this evening. Brad Sham and Nicole Hutchison. I would ask you if Cowboys linebacker sounded funny, except you were that before you were a Bengal.
Correct.
I couldn't find.
Cowboy fans.
I couldn't find your high school team's nickname. What was that?
We were the Mustangs.
That close.
Yeah.
That close. That would have been something else.
Yeah.
And I saw one piece that a guy I used to know, Tracy Ringlesby, wrote about you coming out, and maybe it was your senior year, and the headline that they put on it was Logan Wilson, born to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
But he was talking about a Wyoming cowboy.
Yep.
So let's start with that. Because you're from Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
And you only got offered by Wyoming and Weber State, is that right?
That's correct.
How in the world is that possible?
Well, I think that's what happens when you're from the state of Wyoming. There's not as many opportunities that come about. You kind of have to go to camps and put your name out there, and which I did, and some teams just didn't want me, and that's just the way it goes.
we got
Bring
a
this little
special
pink
guest.
bundle in. She can come up. She can join. She can join.
He just wants to come say hi.
Yeah, that's cool. Mom's over there giving it the big eagle eye, saying, "Let's see how this goes. This will be very interesting to see how this works." What a cutie! All right, since she's here and so adorable, and you talked about her the first night you were here. You know, I got to get my family here, and there was a mention of a cat also. I think.
A cat and 2 dogs.
And
we got too much hair in our house.
Well, can't help you with that. But has everybody made it? All the four-legged
Yes.
people
Yes.
are
the whole
also
crew,
here?
Our whole clan is here.
Oh, okay, very good. So what is she, 2?
She's almost 2.
Yeah.
She's a year and a half.
So let's talk about, since she is so adorable, the two of you do very good work, how she changed your life and your outlook on life.
It's just put a lot of things into perspective about like what's really important. Like football is just a small part, but it's really not the end all be all. Family is second most important after faith. But I feel like she just put a lot of those things into perspective, and makes you want to be a better person, better father, better husband, and just make sure that she has all the tools that she needs to be successful whenever she grows up.
What's Dad?
But she doesn't need to grow up too fast. Just slow down.
As a dad, let me just tell you, it's going to be way faster than you.
It already
care
has
about.
been.
A very active child. This is very, very positive, and she will keep you on your toes.
Yeah, I joked with the guys when I was in Cincy. I was like, I come here, I practice, and I work out, and then I go home, and I'm still doing it because I'm chasing her around.
And that's more exhausting. You can't reason with her
No,
like you can
no.
with some
And she
others.
doesn't always listen.
Hey,
It happens.
What girls are for.
Yeah.
Daddy's girls.
Oh, I'm shutting up now. So much have I to say.
What's Dad like life? Dad life like. There we go.
Honestly, it's fantastic. It's the best. In terms of like the whole perspective thing about football, like she doesn't care if we won or lost. Like I come home and she's excited for Dada to be home, and I love that aspect of it. Just being able to come home to her smiling face. So it's been a lot of fun.
I remember when Dak Prescott had his babies, and he was talking about that inner
Excuse
dad
me,
strength.
he didn't have them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my goodness.
But he did none of the work.
He did it. But when they had their babies,
Yes.
talk about the inner dad strength that you found when you did have yours.
Yeah, it's funny because you don't realize how well you can function on limited sleep. And so, like, when I was, the first, because we had her in March, so it was like in the middle of off season. I was going to work out, and it was like running on 4 hours of sleep, and I was still lifting more than I had, the weeks prior. And so it's just like, how do you just don't realize what you're capable of. And so I'm like, that is definitely dad's strength to a T.
Yeah.
All right.
It's real.
So let's just talk a little bit about, because people here don't follow the Bengals.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about the years you had there, because they were pretty good. You were a third-round pick. You were a captain. You had led in every kind. I don't like to drown people in statistics, but there are some very impressive ones attached to your name, and clearly a leadership role was something that came natural to you. It just seems that way. So were you surprised that things started to go bad? I mean, 2-3 years in, when you're starting and you're playing all the time and you're playing well, you probably think, I'm a Bengal. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I truly thought I was gonna retire in Cincy, and that's just kind of, that's not somehow. Sometimes this league has that business aspect that just it comes into play whether or not you want it to happen or not, and so that's kind of what came in Cincy, and I enjoyed my time there, and obviously very thankful for the organization for taking a chance on me there, because I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys if they didn't. And so hi.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure if you were with the Bengals, you would not be sitting here talking to us. I think that's probably
Right.
a safe thing to say. And for the audience who is not watching streaming or here with us, if you're listening, and from time to time Logan says hi, he's not being extra nice to us. His daughter is just making herself available. Dad, just checking in.
Yep.
Making sure you're still here. The leadership role, natural for you? Is that always something that you've kind of just, that's who you are?
I've always been like a leader by example. I've always tried to do the little things the right way. I've never been the rah, like get you motivated kind of leader. That's just not how I was, and so I've always tried to just do those little things the right way, because those are what end up being the big thing, or making up the big things, whether that's in football or life or whatever they are. And so, having seen a lot of football too, I think there's a lot of things that I can do to help younger guys around me.
So when you have
excuse me,
go ahead.
just so you know, in my life, no one's ever looked at me the way that little girl just looked at you for about
Literally.
5 seconds. I mean, is he wrapped around her little finger already? Yeah, okay. So that's over.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, sorry.
Literally.
Nicole. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
I was struck by something you said the night of your first press conference here, and your head coach in Cincinnati has echoed it, that for whatever reason, you besides injuries, you had some knee problems this year a little bit, but for whatever reason, your snaps decreased. That's really neither here nor there. But you were very outspoken about saying, yeah, but the words you used were, I'm going to keep pouring into our young linebackers and do everything I can to help them get better. And every guy who sees his playing time diminished in various sports, that doesn't always have that attitude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to pull the curtain back. So for those of you who can't see, so we have these 3 cameras set up on tripods for DallasCowboys.com, and this very active princess,
She's everywhere.
she is roaming,
She is.
and she was just about to see, if I pull on this one, what will happen? And her mother set a new land speed record for the 15-yard sprint to get there and make sure nothing happened. This is parenthood.
To a T.
And here's the bad news. When in about 15 years, the problems only change. They don't get easier. They don't go away. Sorry, I digress.
I'm going to tackle that one in 15 years.
Yeah, well, just one at a time.
Yeah.
One at a time. A lot of guys whose playing time diminishes for whatever reason are not really interested in helping the younger guys who may be trying to take their job. That was never your approach. Why?
It's just not how I was raised, and it's not. I've had plenty of people that have poured into me to help me get to where I'm at, and I think that's the right thing to do. And the legacy and the impact that you can have on people is far more important than keeping everything you know to yourself. I have instances when I was in college, I had a senior that took me under his wing and helped me out, helped me figure out how to do everything. And then when I got to the NFL, I had a veteran linebacker that had been in the league, I think, 8 years at the time, and so he'd seen a lot of Josh Bynes is his name. Had seen and played a lot of football, and did everything he could to help me. He was on a 1-year deal. He knew what his role was, but like I always appreciated that about him. You know, another guy, Sam Hubbard, taught me everything how to take care of my body outside of the facility and all those different things.
Good player, Sam Hubbard.
Yeah, but the impact that those guys have all had on me, like that's what I want to be for other guys. Is I want to give them the tools that they need and have to be successful in this league, because that's more important than anything else.
This is what I hope people can appreciate. So you have things to teach DeMarvion Overshawn, who's clearly, I'm sure you figured out, he's pretty gifted. But you have experience and you have leadership qualities refined by time, and you have those things to teach him. But he knows here, and he knows the defense, the coaches. So are you teaching each other? And I'm just using him as one example.
Yeah, I feel like we're all teaching each other, and I'm learning from them, especially because they've been in the system this whole year. Just trying to, anything that, you know, if I see something a certain way, especially like even Shamar, another rookie, you know, in the room, and JB, both those guys, like sometimes they'll ask me questions, you know, like while we're in the back and the other guys are out doing the walkthrough, they'll ask me a question while we're out there watching the walkthrough, not getting a rep, but trying to get a mental rep of the repetition. So just any way that I can help those guys, like that's what I want to be.
Aside from being that veteran presence that a lot of these younger guys can learn from, what was the other role that, you know, Shadi kind of talked to you about when you had that conversation? Obviously, you were coming to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, we didn't really have that much of a conversation about what my specific role was going to be. I kind of assumed it. You know, you're in year 6, you get traded midseason, that you have that veteran presence in a locker room that, you know, I came in and I was the oldest guy in the room, literally, and so. I mean, K9 had played. We were both in the same draft class, but in terms of actual physical age, like I am older, and so being that older guy, like you know, I just want to be that mature guy that they can ask questions, and if they need help with anything, like I want to be an open book.
Okay, I don't want us to get behind, so we're going to take our next break, and then I really do want to get to that language thing, terminology, and how you learn how to speak Cowboy when you've been speaking Bengal for all these years. We are at Sidecar Social on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. We are in the Star District, and we are brought to you in part by
Luke Casey. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys Collection by Luke Casey. Shop the collection today at Luke Casey's 6 DFW locations or online at lukecasey.com. Luke Casey, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Logan Wilson, the Cowboys linebacker, is our guest this evening. We'll be right back.
Online at Luke Casey.
back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. Brad Sham and Nicole Hutchison. We are at Sidecar Social, the Star District in Frisco, with Cowboys linebacker Logan Wilson, our very special guest this evening. Make him feel welcome, please. And this is our regular Monday night home, and we will be here actually every Monday night for the rest of the season, including the Monday night before Christmas, even though 48 hours after that, the Cowboys will be on an airplane and go to Washington. Merry Christmas. No, I mean, Merry Christmas. It's really, let me ask you this as a veteran player. 3 teams, Dallas, Kansas City, and Detroit, are playing on both Thanksgiving and Christmas, which means it's not the holiday aspect of it that bothers me that much, but the short week within a month, to do that as especially veteran players, to do that twice in a month, that seems wrong. That just seems really wrong to ask of you guys to do.
I would agree. I think we just came off a window where it was like 4 games in 18 days or something.
Yeah.
And
You ever done that before?
no.
How do you feel?
I mean, I feel okay. You know, I haven't been playing the whole game, so
Right.
which is, that helps, that aspect. But I think it is hard on the body when those, especially late in the year when you get those Thursday night games. Like whenever the season comes out, you want the Thursday night game to be earlier in the year so you can just knock it out. That was when we were in Cincy. Here, there's a lot more games on prime time versus in Cincinnati, and
Oh,
so
yeah, get used to that, pal.
yeah. The Christmas thing will be weird because we're away too. So like we'll have to leave on Christmas Eve and be gone on Christmas. And with the little one at home, that kind of sucks. It
Yeah.
does. I was hoping we'd be at least home, you know, to be able to be home in some aspect, but you know, we'll adapt to it.
How much does your recovery change when you're having to play in those short weeks compared to obviously a regular NFL Sunday week?
Yeah, truly, it depends how beat up you get the game prior. That's a big thing. So if you can make it through that game like unscathed in a sense, that helps with the recovery aspect. But you're pretty much just jam packing everything you would especially on even a shorter week when you're leaving Wednesday. Really, like your off the field work that you get, you got to jam pack it in Monday, Tuesday. So it's like you got 2 days versus you got, if it's a normal week, you got Monday and Tuesday, and then you practice Wednesday, Thursday, but then Friday's a half day, so you get that. You got Friday, you can do stuff. You got Saturday, you can do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and so when you're traveling on Wednesday, like you don't really have that Wednesday, and then you play Thursday, and you can't really. They're not going to bring people all the way out to Washington, so it's just, everything's condensed.
Well, the good news about the Christmas game is it's the first game of the day, so we should be back by 8.
Decent hour.
Yeah, 8, 9. So just keep her up, Mom. That's no problem, is it? For you, just keep her up, or wake her up about 7:30 so she's ready to go for
when
when
she's
Daddy
wired.
comes.
We're not going to bed until midnight. or
Yeah, but it's
later.
Christmas. You don't want to go to bed
That's
anyway
true.
that night. Okay, I'm interested in this in the language. First of all, is there any similarity between the scheme that Matt Eberflus plays and you had a coordinator change in Cincinnati anyway this year, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to that. How different was the scheme you played before to what they're playing now
in Cincy?
in Cincinnati? Yeah.
There was a lot of things that we had done, and then there were some things we hadn't done. So really, more than anything, like when you're learning a new system, you just try to because even coming here, there's all things that I've done before. It's just connecting the words, the terminology in terms of what it's called here. You know, like if I played a certain coverage in Cincinnati that was called this, but here it's called this, but we play it the same way. And then sometimes there's coverages that you haven't played in a while, but they call it something. There's just, you got to balance all of that.
Can you say like the name of a coverage? You're not giving away any state secrets, are you? If you say in Cincinnati you played a coverage that was called.
Oh yeah, I mean you could the general term for like a 3-match defense is like Jade. Like people play Jade. Cover 3 Jade.
And what do they call it here?
It's called 59 here.
And so you went from like colors to numbers.
Correct.
Oh boy.
But like even in Cincy with the last coordinator with Al Golden, the coordinator, everything was like in its own bucket. And so there was like, you know, there was NBA teams, there was MLB teams, there's all sorts
goodness.
of, so Yeah, I remember during OTAs actually this year, I spent like 2 hours a night just trying to figure out everything, and I was just like, geez, this is insane.
I mean, you have to. No, wait. It's not that because that's the NBA team terminology.
Right.
It's this because that's a baseball terminology.
Right. That's what it tells you.
And this is
like,
called
it's
Tigers.
This type
so.
of it's like this type of pressure, or it's this type of coverage. Like there's different. You definitely have to be able to compartmentalize things with how you put it and how you learn it because it's definitely not easy.
And then you got that down, and now you come here, and now forget all of that.
Yeah.
Because the same thing now has a number value, right?
Yeah. I think my headset
Did-
just went out.
Your headset just went out? Just
I'm
keep
sorry,
talking.
you still here? Okay.
You sound marvelous.
No, we're good. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, you're basically trying. Like I was just saying earlier, you have to connect those whatever it is. Like in this scheme, it was this, and this is how I learned it. But here, it's called this, and this is how we're gonna. That's how I just needed to learn it. You're basically relearning the same thing, but in a new term.
So walk us through a Logan Wilson film session, learning the new terminology for you.
Like understanding what the. Honestly, it was when I first got here. Like my linebackers coach gave me 6 base coverages that were pretty much going to be in every single game plan because he wanted me to get the gist of like what we were running here.
Okay.
And then as we've gone along, like there's been all the little nuances. There's been all the other coverages outside of those main 6 that we were running. And so that's kind of how I learned it. Was I spent I spent time with him, extra time to make sure that I was good on those 6 coverages, and then basically how they have everything categorized here, just understanding like when it's called this, like this is the pressure we're running, linebackers are going in this cover, just all those different things. It's just kind of
Detail oriented.
very detail oriented.
And all that's great, but you're the middle linebacker.
Yeah.
So when you're in the game, you got the green dot, you're hearing the play be sent in, and you got to make the call.
Yeah.
Not only do you have to learn it, you now have to run it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, is that one of the most challenging things you've had to do?
Yeah, because it's like, you're the quarterback of the defense. It's not like it's different versus, having a D lineman come in because they know that they're playing 3 technique. You know what I mean? Like, if they can figure out they're playing 3 technique versus in this front, like, it's still a 3 technique versus I got to know what the safeties are doing, what the D line's doing, and then make sure the communication's all the same and we're all on the same page because that's the most important thing. And so that stuff just takes time.
When did you start feeling comfortable with everything?
Next
Or
year.
are you still not?
It just depends on the call, honestly. Like, there's a lot of the calls I've ran the most, like I
Yeah.
feel the most comfortable with. But the calls that I run the least, like
Still
it's
learning.
just, yeah. The more you run something, the more you do anything, the more comfortable you get.
And you're splitting snaps, and I know sitting up there, I'm play-by-play, I'm watching the ball, but I know that we're not going to see Logan Wilson until next year. You won't really be able to turn it loose and feel comfortable till next year, will you?
I don't know. I'm not worried about that. just worried about right now, trying to find a way to beat the Vikings on Sunday night.
Good answer. Very good answer. Okay, here's another thing that I learned. Tell me your high school nickname again.
The Mustangs.
The name of the school.
Natrona County.
This man was, I believe, you'll correct me, all-conference kicker.
State.
All-state. Thank you very much. All-state kicker. Okay, does Aubrey know that you're breathing down his neck?
No. But it's funny, I was actually, in Cincy, I was actually the game day emergency backup kicker for Evan McPherson.
One of the things that I have learned through the years is people automatically think that the punter is the backup kicker, and that's so rarely true because punters don't place kick.
No.
Once upon a time, maybe, but that's not how it. I don't think Brian Anger's the backup kicker.
I don't know who the backup kicker
Well,
is.
it might be you now, Bob.
Might be. It could be.
Does Shotty know that?
They know.
I don't know if
They
it
know
is.
your background.
You should ask
certainly, right?
Huh?
They know your background, so they know you were.
I assume they would know. I assume they know it from to high school, but I don't know that for certain. I can't guarantee that.
What was your range? What was your field goal range?
The longest I made in a game was a 53-yarder.
Wow.
And then I kicked a 60 but it was just like, it didn't count it was just in practice. On the side, like my own practice.
Okay.
So I've made a 60-yarder before, just not anything that counted.
I mean, have you talked to Aubrey about that? Hey,
No,
if you
because
need
he's doing a very good job of what he's
he
doing.
is. He
Just
is.
leave him alone and let him do his
He
job.
is, but he's younger. He's a little younger than you. I mean, he didn't come in as a 20-year-old rookie, but he's a little younger. You know, you could say, hey, just I'm not trying to get in your business, but just so you know, if you need any help, I've done
Back you
that.
up.
He would need to help me.
What was your thoughts on? What was your thoughts on Brandon Aubrey when you saw how successful he was as a kicker when you got here?
Well, I knew he was really good, and then being in Cincy, Evan was really good too. So
Yeah.
having good kickers is very important. But I think I saw some stats like after this last game. He set like 3 NFL records for one in this last game, and then there was like the fantasy stat about he's like if you put him at quarterback, he's like quarterback 22 or like running. Based on the amount of points he scored because
Yeah.
he kicked so many long field goals and he's been so accurate and. That's just a credit to the work that he's put in, but he's obviously very good at his job.
Yeah. Nobody had ever kicked 355
Plus.
or more yard field goals in one game.
Right.
Seems a little crazy, but
Yeah.
we tend to expect that of him now.
Yeah.
It's a headline when he misses. All right, we'll take our last break. We're getting to know Logan Wilson, the Cowboys' new linebacker, and his beautiful family. We are very happy to have them here. And we will be right back at Sidecar Social in the Star District. Cowboys' new linebacker.
Two, one, you're back.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back. We are at Sidecar Social at the Star District in Frisco. Brad Sham, Nicole Hutchison, our very special guest, Cowboys linebacker Logan Wilson. who, along with his teammates, will play a game, Stop the Presses, on a Sunday this coming week. The last time that happened was in October. Think about that. Back-to-back Mondays.
No.
Oh, no, wait, no. Philadelphia was a Sunday. Philadelphia was a Sunday. Well, that's one.
It was one just
since
mixed
October.
in there, though,
Just
yeah.
thrown in there to confuse everybody. But you were right about the prime time stuff. So you go ahead and talk. I'm not going to steal this from you.
No, I was talking about your podcast. What brought that about, the Wilson Family Playbook?
That would be my wife's idea. She thought it would be a good idea to just, she's always wanted to start a podcast and just, give people insight into how we live our lives and the things that we go through, because we've had a lot of people that have been close to us and have reached out about wanting to know more. And so we thought it was a good idea to start a podcast, and we give fans an opportunity to basically, she asked a question, like at the end of the podcast episode, we gave our fans an opportunity that we'll on Instagram, let them fill out a question box, and they can ask questions, and we'll answer some at the end of our podcast episode.
Morgan is her name, your
Yes.
wife's name? Yes. First of all, just so you know, during the break, because Nicole told me, I heard you talking, you said you were going to try to maybe record an episode tomorrow. So
Yes.
I went to Morgan and I said, listen, if you want to practice, if you want to do this last segment, I'm good. I don't have to do it. And Morgan said she really doesn't like talking where people can watch her.
But she likes the podcast
But
because she can just talk to
Be yourself.
Yeah, it's easy.
It
It really is chill if you do, like, podcasting is pretty, it's pretty
I
chill.
so wish if we had more time, because Ivan can do anything, I would hook up another microphone, because I would love to hear you talk about why you thought it was a great idea to let the world in on how your family functions and lives its life. But I don't have that, so you're off the hook for right now. But we'll tune in tomorrow's episode and see. Where did you meet, the two of you?
Where?
Yes.
At the University of Wyoming.
And are you both Wyoming kids?
She's from Colorado, but I'm from Wyoming, and then we met at the University of Wyoming.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
In the making.
Yes.
In the making. Okay, we've got a couple of questions from our audience. Let's go right here.
Good evening, Logan.
Hello.
My name is Rambo.
That's a nice name.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And he lets you know.
So, your move from Cincinnati to Dallas, what has been the biggest, most notable thing that you've noticed between the Cincinnati Bengals fan base and the Dallas Cowboy fan base?
And they can't hear you in Cincinnati right now. So.
That's oh man.
He's probably not been here long enough, Rambo, to figure
Yeah,
that out
I
yet.
am still figuring it out. I feel like, gosh, I don't know how to compare them yet, honestly. Just because I was there for so long, like I saw a lot of different days of the ebbs and flows of the season, and I've only been here for so long, and we've, trying to think, we've played, 2 home games, and we've won both of them, so fans are pretty good for the most part,
Yeah.
when you're winning.
Yeah. And you had some really good years in Cincinnati.
Right, but the down years are down, or when fans are not very happy, and that's part of it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an exact answer for you. That's a tough question.
We'll have him on again next year. We can check back in. But here's the real question: Are you a fan of Cincinnati chili?
No.
They're known for chili in Cincinnati?
Yeah,
Wow.
but it's not.
Oh,
It's
girl.
not really. They call it chili, but it's not. To me, I grew up in like Wyoming, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's like chili's a hearty, like thick.
Like what's
Chili.
what's in
Okay.
your chili when you want chili? What are the ingredients that don't show up in Cincinnati?
Well, so in Cincinnati, chili. Their chili's like more of a sauce. Like they throw it on like spaghetti or hot dogs or things like that. And it has like I think they have like I think it's brown sugar. It's got a little sweetness to it.
Is there some chocolate in it?
I don't know.
I
I couldn't tell you. I never
read
went and
that
got it
somewhere.
like fresh from Skyline.
Oh, y'all are losing me with chili.
No, I know. I'm not. I'm just. I can't
never-
believe you don't know about Cincinnati
Yeah,
chili.
no. Not even with
Yeah,
like
it's
the
a-
brown
it's a
sugar
thing.
and all that. Wow.
Well, she came
It's
from
If you ever
Houston.
go,
I'm
just
from H-Town.
Yeah.
She
so-
came from Houston, so we're bringing her along slowly.
that's okay. I don't know. She's not missing out on much.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
in my
Hello,
opinion.
Logan.
Hello.
Larry from McKinney.
How's it going?
Good, good. Going back to your high school, the principal that's there now, I don't know if it's the same principal that was there back then, but I noticed that his last name is same as yours. Are you all related? Aaron Wilson?
No, we're not related.
How do you possibly know the name of the principal of his high school?
I looked it up.
That's a deep
You-
dive.
You really need a hobby. Or this might be your hobby.
This is my.
This is your hobby, okay. Well, there
That's
went,
some
but you
deep
could have made
research.
one
That
up.
was.
You could have made up a story right then about cousin Aaron, was it? But not to be. Okay. What other sports did you play?
So I played football, and then in the winter sport I played basketball, and then in the spring I ran track.
Why football? Why'd you end up going with football?
I mean, if I didn't play football, I would have ran track. But I think football was like the sport that you had like a finite amount of time to play, and so understanding like that it was going to come to an end sooner rather than later, and I enjoyed it. And it was honestly the only offer that I had was a full ride scholarship, so I was able to get my school paid for.
Okay. It's always a reason as well. Love that.
So when you, before 2 years ago, when you're not playing, what's your downtime like? What are you doing? Because I know what you're doing with your downtime now.
Yeah. In my downtime, my wife she's a big foodie, so we'd go find some spots in Cincy to go eat, and then if I was at home, like I like to play video games. It's a way for me to kind of stay in touch with some of my friends from college and high school, and so that's kind of what I do in my free time.
Favorite food spots so far here in Dallas? Have y'all got a chance to try
Have you
any?
even been out to dinner yet?
What's funny is we've been out a couple times, and I mean we love True Food Kitchen. I don't even know the name of the restaurant. It's a Mediterranean spot that we've been to a couple times. Darna?
Darla?
It's
Darla.
over right by True Food.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really good Mediterranean spot that we've been to a couple times, and then trying to think if there's anywhere else we've really been.
Any barbecue
Oh, there's
spots?
there's a spot right in the Star that we went to, the Italian spot.
Italian spot.
Here in the
Help me.
Star?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of really good
Yeah,
places.
it's like
It's fine. A lot. Y'all
Yeah.
got a chance to try some.
That you will, if you're a foodie, are you a foodie?
I am because she is.
Because she is. Once you kind of get your feet settled, and especially in the off season, for whatever time you're around, between Dallas and Fort Worth and places in between, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Finding all the great
sure.
spots to eat.
Yeah. She'll find them.
Did the experience in Cincinnati this year do anything to dim your love of the game?
It does. It does a little bit. I feel like it's just, when you're getting the further into your career you get, the more you realize that there might not be much, time left to play in this league, and so you just kind of enjoy it while you can and make the most of it.
How much did your wife play a role in keeping your spirits up?
A lot. It's not easy to go through that benching, and but I feel like I've always had a good perspective on what's most important in life, and so you just kind of take it on the chin and control the controllables and move on from it, and so that's kind of what I've done.
And it's unfair to ask you this in the little bit of time, especially that we have left, but the culture is clearly different. Team's on a little bit of a heater there for a minute, and you're not even playing all the time yet. But do you feel any of that coming back? Like, oh yeah, this is what I love. This is why I like the game so much.
Yeah, it's hard to get a full. I mean, when you're playing I'm not playing it a ton right now, so just trying to enjoy it while I'm in there. And like I said earlier, just about controlling the controllables. I can't control how much I play, but I can control what I do while I'm in there, and so that's kind of what I'm focused on.
All right. Well, we are delighted to have you here. And I've seen enough of this to know we haven't seen Logan Wilson yet, but we're gonna. We're really happy to have you here. Thanks for bringing your family out tonight.
I appreciate it.
And what's the podcast name?
Oh, sorry.
The
Wilson Family Playbook. Sorry.
Okay, we're gonna be looking for that. We'll see you next week on the Cowboys Hour.